Claire Powers decided to take a kayak out with her 4-year-old son on March the 29th of 2022 on a cold morning when Lake Lansing was still covered with sheets of ice. Despite conditions of the water, she pushed forward, breaking through the ice with her paddle while ignoring the obvious danger from the start. The child was not wearing a life jacket or warm clothing, and just minutes later the kayak overturned after striking a frozen section of the lake. After falling into the icy water, 4-year-old Liam Andrew Powers died from drowning and hypothermia, despite medical efforts to revive him. The investigation would reveal that just 3 months earlier, Claire had gone through a divorce that left her the sole custody of her son amidst emotional instability and ongoing mental health struggles. The circumstances of the accident, no protective clothing, no life jacket, and the use of a kayak taken without permission were decisive elements for prosecutors. For months they debated whether her actions could be considered simple recklessness or whether they rose to a level of criminal conduct severe enough to justify a murder charge.
What do you guys need carried? Sit down in the water? She's going under. I think got two in the water trying to get her out. Go!
Firefighters managed to bring the kayak to the dock and rescue the woman along with her child. He's pulled out of the water unconscious and showing no signs of breathing. Firefighters and officers carry the boy on a stretcher toward the ambulance. Along the way, paramedics continue CPR efforts, trying to reverse the effects of the prolonged exposure to icy water. After being rescued, the woman and her son were immediately transported by ambulance to the Sparrow Hospital in Lansing. The urgency was heightened by the freezing water temperatures and the time elapsed since the capsizing, factors that had gravely compromised the child's vital functions. Meanwhile, the woman was stabilized for hypothermia. Her transfer was also a priority, but the difference in the level of care provided along the way reflected the disparity in their clinical conditions. While she remained conscious and showing signs of recovery, her child's life hung by a thread. The absence of warm clothing and, most importantly, a life jacket had created an almost insurmountable disadvantage. Just 3 months prior, Claire Powers had gone through a divorce that left her solely responsible for her son. This separation not only altered the family dynamic, but also marked the beginning of a stage burdened with emotional and financial pressures. For investigators, this background was crucial. Combined with her mental health struggles, it placed her in a vulnerable context that would later become central to the judicial process. The child's father arrives at the scene. An officer informs him that his son had been pulled from the lake and rushed to the hospital. What the father did not know is that at that moment in the ER, the worst-case scenario was beginning to unfold. Claire Powers was charged with second-degree murder, a charge that carried the possibility of life in prison, and in September of 2023, she accepted a plea deal and entered a no-contest plea to involuntary manslaughter. She would be sentenced to 1 year in jail and 3 years of probation with mandatory mental health treatment. The case closed as a stark reminder of how a series of decisions made in just moments, within a context of personal instability, spiraled into a tragedy that left a permanent mark on both the family and the community.